Hi there, in this video I want to address an issue that I'm sick of hearing being brought up, and that is one of the reasons why a minority hate Man of Steel, and that is because he kills Zod. The debate over Superman's decision to kill Zod in Man of Steel has garnered considerable attention. Critics argue that this act tarnishes Superman's moral integrity, but this view often oversimplifies the situation. We'll explore why criticising Superman for killing Zod is ludicrous, considering moral nuance, context, and hypocrisy in public reactions. The ethical context of Superman's decision. Moral dilemmas in superhero narratives. Superman faces an unprecedented crisis where innocent lives are at immediate risk. Zod's relentless threat and the danger of continued destruction leave Superman with a moral choice: risk many lives or make a difficult decision. He even begged him to stop, and Zod says, "No, you're going to have to kill me." No good options. Killing Zod was not taken lightly. Superman's actions stem from a brutal reality where inaction meant mass casualties. This highlights the concept of moral compromise, where achieving a lesser evil may be necessary to prevent a greater catastrophe. Superman's moral depth and intent. Not a killer by nature. Superman's history and ethos emphasize preservation, justice, and compassion. The killing of Zod was a tragic necessity, not an indication of moral failure. Emotional and psychological toll. The scene depicts Superman's visible distress, trauma, and horror, underlining the depth of his moral anguish. His actions reflect a last resort, not a desire for violence, and Cavill, Superman, was only just starting his journey as Superman. If he was a killer by nature, then why didn't Cavill Superman flat out kill Lex when his very mum's life was threatened? Or flat out kill Batman? He literally got beaten by Batman, all because he held back, because the Man of Steel isn't a killer or a monster. Hypocrisy in public and critical reactions. Inconsistent standards. Many critics who condemn Superman's killing when it occurs in Man of Steel did not bat an eye at more extreme acts by other versions of Superman or different heroes. Comparison to other incidences. The same audience often applauded or excused the killing of Ultraman in Superman, Red Son, or even in the new film, as well as other adaptations where Superman has no moral qualms. Nor did they complain when Superman killed the Joker in Injustice story, of which he did out of pure revenge. Even Hawkgirl killed someone, and to top that, the new Superman wasn't even that upset or mad that the Justice Gang killed the kaiju. This reveals a double standard rooted in narrative preference rather than moral judgment. The case of New Superman and Ultraman. Lack of moral attachment. In certain stories, Superman kills Ultraman with clinical detachment, lacking the emotional weight and moral conflict seen in Man of Steel. In the 2025 film, after freeing Ultraman from the control of Lex, he doesn't try to reason with him or save him, like the Boy Scout that people moan that they didn't get in Man of Steel. He sees a piece of the city comes crashing down, and pushes Ultraman into the falling object, quite literally, intentionally, sending him to his death in the black hole. This inconsistency reflects storytelling choices, not necessarily an objective moral issue. Why is this ignored? The focus often shifts from moral debates to fan biases, nostalgia, or narrative convenience. Why using Superman killing Zod as a reason to hate Man of Steel is stupid. Oversimplification of moral complexity. Reducing Superman's morally complex decision to a black and white villainy misrepresents the character's depth. Sorry, Justin. Ignoring context and consequences. Critics overlook the overwhelming stakes and Superman's distress, which contextualizes his actions. Inconsistent standards. The same critics often overlook other grey areas, revealing the issue is more about personal preference than moral logic. Henry Cavill also explained that in his Superman's journey, he says the following: the killing of Zod gave a reason for the character to never kill again. There's an opportunity for growth after that to explore the psyche of Superman as a deep, seemingly invulnerable, godlike being, but with real feelings on the inside. Don't forget, after losing his Bat family, example Robin, Batfleck eventually went dark, and it was Superman who helped him back to the light and inspire him to create the Justice League. When it came to both Zod and Ultraman, both Supermen had no choice. The other would not stop till Superman was dead or until everyone else was. So they had no choice. They had to do it. So, conclusion, Superman's decision to kill Zod was a morally fraught choice made under extreme circumstances, not a sign of moral failure. Criticizing him unfairly ignores the complexity of moral dilemmas heroes face. Recognizing inconsistency and hypocrisy in reactions offers a more nuanced understanding of superhero narratives. Final thoughts. Great stories challenge heroes, sometimes to the brink, and moral choices are rarely clear-cut. Embracing this complexity allows for richer storytelling and a deeper appreciation of characters like Superman. No offence, but also people let emotions and biases overpower their intellectual capacity to judge a scenario, or some of them do just flat out can't intellectualize. Not being horrible. For example, in Man of Steel, Jonathan Kent's death by tornado whilst trying to save the family dog, and having Clark refrain from using his powers to maintain his secret, has been a point of contention for some critics. However, this criticism often overlooks the core thematic purpose of the scene. Jonathan's decision, though seemingly rash, underscores his deep commitment to protecting his son's secret, and by extension his safety and future. What great father wouldn't? Would you not die to protect your own child? In that moment, he prioritized Clark's humanity and his integration into society over immediate salvation, a choice driven by fear and love, and one that profoundly shapes Clark's journey to becoming Superman. And as much as Clark hates it, you can see that he holds back because of the love and respect for his father, and because of shock. It highlights the immense burden and sacrifice inherent in maintaining such a secret, and sets the stage for Clark to grapple with the moral implications of his powers and responsibilities. If you want to get really picky with it, one could say, why didn't the new Superman not save the kid at the end of the film instead of sending the Justice Gang? He's pretty much he pretty much super speeded his way to this fortress earlier, in such a short time, and he was in his third year as Superman. Why didn't the GOAT, the legend, Christopher Reeve's Superman, not super speed his father to the hospital? Well, to be fair, in the 78 Superman, his father was pretty much already dead when he hit the floor, and Clark was young and not experienced. It wasn't until he enhanced his knowledge from his time in the fortress that he learnt about time travel, etc., and hence why he could save Lois later on. And the same with Clark, Cavill Superman. Wasn't even Superman yet, and didn't hone his skills or powers yet. Also, don't forget, their lack of action is also down to shock and disbelief, like any other human or person would, which means it would be hard to act. Hence why for a short time Tom Welling's Clark decided, because of all this trauma, all the bangs that happened, to bury his emotions, albeit later he learnt his humanity was an important part of himself. Oh no, but then again, heaven forbid should that Superman should show any humanity. As Batman told Flash, our past pain or trauma is a part of what shapes us today. Without the death of Mr. and Mrs. Wayne, you would have no Batman. Most, if not all heroes have that moment that then changes their approach. Also, with all this topic earlier, Batman had something in his life happen to make him then say, no more killing. In a manner still, this was Clark's debut as Superman. And killing Zod is his point in his journey in life that makes him go, okay, that's it, no more killing. But to hate Man of Steel because he killed Zod is just stupid. It's just people hating for no justifiable reason. All heroes have killed in their time. So singling this one out, is just people being immature or just finding an excuse to hate. And even James Gunn fans say in the second or third viewing of the new Superman film, they all pretty much concede that, yeah, Superman flat out kills Ultraman. But by the way, how's this picky? He could have flown in and saved him, and Ultraman may have been a changed character after that. Imagine if he saved Ultraman, then Ultraman goes off to kill Lex for controlling him, for using him. Pardon me. And then Superman talks him down and teaches him that killing isn't the way. There's another way. There's always another way. And then Ultraman turns himself in for rehabilitation. Or maybe perhaps Superman is injured from their fight, so Ultraman redeems himself by saving that child and his village at the end. How does that sound for an alternative ending, best suiting the Boy Scout morals and all that stuff, you know what I mean? Anyway, so like I said, this whole debate or reason to hate the Man of Steel for that reason is just stupid. And yes, people are entitled to an opinion, but it's not a valid argument. And it needs to stop being used as one, or as an attack towards Zack Snyder's narrative. Someone who is also highly respected by James Gunn himself, and who is a good friend of his, and who has been working with him and will have him working on future projects. Even James Gunn himself, despite the back and forth, condones the attacks towards Snyder. And by the way, both Superman and Batman have killed in the past, yet no one has complained about it. They only complained about Henry Cavill's Superman. You know, killing Zod and that. In the last and final decided cut of Superman 2, Reeves' Superman kills Zod and his minions. Okay, Lois might have took one out. Who have their powers taken away and plummet to their doom. And the legendary Batman, the GOAT, Michael Keaton, he killed bad guys in his films. Anyway, I just felt this all needed to be said and put to rest and put into context. And remember, look up.